Karen hated my doghouse, so I built a glowing Egyptian pyramid in my backyard. The trouble started with a doghouse. My golden retriever, Max, needed a place to escape the summer heat, so I built a simple wooden shelter in my backyard. It was modest, painted blue to match my fence, and Max loved it. But Karen, my next-door neighbor, didn't. She stormed over one morning, her face pinched like she'd swallowed a lemon. "That eyesore is lowering property values," she snapped, pointing at the doghouse like it was a crime scene. I tried reasoning Max was happy. The structure was sturdy, but Karen wasn't hearing it. She filed a complaint with the Homeowners Association, claiming it violated neighborhood aesthetics. The HOA, spineless as ever, sent me a letter demanding I tear it down. I'm not a confrontational guy. I'm Jake, a graphic designer who'd rather sketch than argue. But Karen's pettiness lit a fuse in me. I spent weeks researching local codes and discovered a loophole. No rule banned art installations. So, I decided to replace the doghouse with something undeniably a glowing, 15-foot-tall Egyptian pyramid. I poured my savings into it, hiring a local artist, Sam, to help with the frame and LED wiring. By night, it shimmered like a beacon, turning my backyard into a spectacle. Max slept happily beneath it, and I felt a quiet triumph. Karen lost it. She marched over at dawn, her voice shrill enough to wake the block. "You're mocking me," she screamed, her finger jabbing toward the pyramid. I leaned against my porch, sipping coffee, and said, "It's art, Karen. Freedom of expression." Her eyes narrowed, and I knew this wasn't over. She started a petition, rallying neighbors to restore order. Most stayed neutral, but a few, like timid HOA rep Greg, sided with her. Greg showed up one evening, clipboard in hand, stammering about community standards. I invited him to see the pyramid up close. He left speechless, maybe even impressed. The tension boiled for weeks. Karen's glares from her window became a daily ritual. Then came the twist. Sam, my artist friend, confessed something wild. He'd overheard Karen at a coffee shop, bragging about sabotaging another neighbor's garden years ago. "She's not just a control freak," Sam whispered. "She's got a vendetta against anyone who defies her." That flipped my perspective. This wasn't just about a doghouse or a pyramid, it was about power. Karen thrived on bending people to her will. One night, the pyramid's lights flickered out. I found the wiring slashed, and Karen's smug grin the next morning told me everything. I could have called the cops, but I wanted her to face the community instead. I invited the whole neighborhood to a pyramid relighting party. Dozens showed up, curious and buzzing. Karen arrived too, uninvited, her arms crossed. As the pyramid glowed again, I spoke to the crowd, calm but firm. I told them about the doghouse, the complaints, the vandalism. Gasps rippled through the group. Greg, red-faced, admitted the HOA had been pressured by Karen for years. Then came the unexpected voice misses. Larson, the quiet widow across the street. She stepped forward, her voice trembling but clear. "Karen ruined my rose garden after I refused to join her book club," she said. "I never spoke up because I was afraid." The crowd turned on Karen, their murmurs sharp with betrayal. Karen's face crumpled, her usual bravado gone. She muttered something about misunderstandings and fled. I thought I'd feel victorious, but the wind tasted bitter. The pyramid stood radiant, but the neighborhood felt fractured. Karen moved away a month later, her house sold to a young couple who loved Max. I kept the pyramid, a reminder of defiance, but I started volunteering with the HOA to rebuild trust. Mrs. Larson and I planted a new rose garden together, and Max still sleeps under the pyramid's glow. Yet the cost lingers. Karen wasn't just a bully, she was a mirror, showing how fast grudges can spiral. I wonder if I'd handled it differently. Could we have avoided the war? The pyramid's light feels like a warning now, not a triumph. What do you think, was my rebellion justified? Or did I fuel the fire as much as Karen did? Share your take on justice and community conflict. Image prompt: a tense, hyper-realistic scene capturing a heated confrontation at a lakeside property. Shot from a wide angle, distant camera perspective to emphasize the scale of the conflict. The main character's Karen, a sharply dressed woman in her 50s with a commanding presence. The protagonist, a weathered man in his 40s, standing defiantly by his lake house. And a group of HOA board members, mixed ages, in formal attire, are locked in a dramatic standoff. Karen points aggressively, her face contorted with rage, while the protagonist clenches his fists, his posture unyielding. The lake house, a rustic wooden cabin, looms in the background, partially damaged with broken windows and scattered debris, hinting at recent destruction. The lake sparkles under clear daylight, casting natural, even lighting that highlights every detail. Sweat on brows, tense muscles, and the chaos of overturned lawn chairs. In the foreground, a weathered wooden signpost by the lake's edge bears a handwritten note in bold. Distressed ink. Under 80 characters, HOA sent crews to ruin his home. One man fights back. The sign's texture blends seamlessly with the natural setting, grounding the scene in gritty realism. The overall mood is raw, charged with betrayal and defiance, amplifying the story's high-stakes climax.